Hey everybody, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me today. I was just contemplating some pockets that I saw the lovely Miss Kathleen Mower make over at Be Again Books. Love her channel. These are technically triple pockets because the envelope itself is a pocket. Triple pockets with a tuck. Okay. And she did it two ways. So basically what we do is I have a stack of envelopes here. You can use them all different sizes. We even have one that would be a full page size. So a whole host of ideas to do this with. I actually want to get, this should be big enough. Funny thing is I have some of this paper left. So I'm thinking, I don't know that this will go in the popcorn, but I just like these together. I'm not necessarily going to put this in the popcorn journal, which is just about done, guys. But I do like these papers together. So I just wanted to grab a scrap. And we are going to make some, I'm wondering if I should put it on here because it's the color of these little circles. So I have this envelope. Okay, now something that I usually like to do with my envelopes, especially these really thin ones. Guys, this thing is like really thin. We are going to cut this open and we're going to line it. She did not do this step. This is one of those envelopes that you get with that, you know, they send you a whole bunch of free stationery. Free cards in the mail with envelopes. And they're really inexpensive, very thin, cheap envelopes, right? I mean, not for nothing. They're sending them to you for free. So I'm not expecting them to be real expensive, high quality. I'm just saying that they happen to be cheap, thin envelopes. So usually they're looking for you to then, I don't know, donate or buy a membership or, you know, something like that. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my pocket up here. I'm going to trim this straight. I don't like, when I'm making the envelope itself a pocket, I don't like this uneven edge. So if I'm going to go through all the trouble to take the envelope apart, I'm going to cut that. Now, like I said, she didn't do all this on hers. I will link her video in my description box so you can go take a gander. I am just going to line this with coffee dyed paper. You know, it doesn't have to be just something to add some bulk to it. Heck, it could be book page, actually. All right, let's just put this down for now. It's really thin. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but it's making glue lines. Can you see it? I'm hoping, I don't know, does our glitter glue dry like that? Is it stained permanently? If it is, I might have just messed up, guys. You'll still get an idea of how the envelope's made, how the pocket's made, but it might be a little... All right, so we're going to take these edges off. So, just going to cut all this excess paper off. I might have to pause you here again in a minute. Okay, so yeah, that was my son home from work. Anyway, so here's our pocket. I folded it on the seams from the envelope and got it all. Now, the fact that this doesn't cover anymore doesn't matter because this flap and this pocket will not be on the same side of a page. Okay, so we're going to glue our pocket back together right along here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do since I have it open? I'm going to round my corners just because I like the way that looks. And then we're going to glue the pocket down. Now, I won't do this if it's a nice stationary pocket that's got a decent weight to it. I mean, because I mean, envelopes are made to slide things in and out of, right? So it's not like they need to be strengthened necessarily. It's just that this was like, this particular envelope felt like it was made out of something thinner than copy paper, if I'm honest. Okay. Now, so that's our flap. Let's measure how wide this is so we know how wide we want our pockets. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, and just over a half. Why is it all envelopes are made to eighths? I know it has to do with the fact that cards are made to halves and quarters. Okay, so we are going to make our pockets. Now my question is, do I want this on the bottom or this on the bottom? I think I want this on the bottom. So how wide is this? 3 inches wide. Okay. And we need it to be 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's right here. We're going to cut that off. And we'll save this. This is double-sided cardstock, so maybe we use the other side next time. Okay, and that's going to go right there. Perfect. Now for this one, I'm going to cut it a little smaller. Well, we need it 4.5, so we'll go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So we're going to cut this 4.5. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it shorter than the other one, so maybe 2 3/4. I like it when the pockets aren't necessarily the exact same height. Not to mention this pocket is not going to get glued at the bottom. It's going to be a pass-through, right? The top pocket. So it doesn't even need to matter. So they'll overlap like that. Is that not cute? I love it. Okay. The other thing I want to do is I've got my new little notch thingy, and we're going to offset our notches. So you put the pockets back to back, and then I'm going to cut my notch off to one side. Like right there. Oh, wait. They're being finicky. Okay, and then we have our notches, and then when we turn it over, they don't line up. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna put that up there, and we're going to ink our pockets. We're going to clip our corners. All of these little things, of course, are personal preference. How do you like your pockets? Do you want notches in them? Do you not want notches in them? All of that sort of thing. And we're just going to ink. A lot of times I'll ink to separate, especially if my patterns, in this particular case, you're going to be able to obviously tell one pocket from the other. But sometimes you do pockets and they are similar colors and patterns, and you can't, or the same color and pattern. Maybe it's the same paper. And you can't necessarily distinguish them. So, I ink them then so that you can tell them apart. In this particular case, that's not necessarily a necessity. But I do like the ink. So I'll put that on there like that. And then this one, let's see. We're going to put it down like this. Yes. I'm going to put that one in there like that. Yes. I'm going to mark it with my pencil because the pencil mark will get covered up. So it doesn't matter. Glue. And not across the bottom. Sometimes I just have to say it out loud to myself because I have a tendency to make these stacked pockets. And my habit, of course, is to glue all the way around my pocket. So I glue all the way around the pocket, and then it defeats the purpose of the stack, you know. Well, it doesn't defeat the purpose. It just makes this a really shallow pocket. Okay. We'll not talk nonsense. I'm going to... So on this one, we're going to do both sides and the bottom, of course, to close it off. Now, regardless of how long this takes me, these are actually pretty quick to put together. I mean, they're not... As a matter of fact, once you get those on there, you're pretty much done. I mean, now you're done but the decorating. So that's your pocket. So you have a pocket here, and then when you flip it over, you have a pocket here, and then this would be a tuck. So if this was my page, and I put this on here like this, I have my tuck here, and then when I flip it over, depending on how I glue it down, well, to get this pocket, you have to glue it down like that. So you just glue the tuck down on the other side. And then you have this pocket here, and you go back here, and you have these two pockets here. Right? So the other thought I had was because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it makes a perfectly good tuck. Just like that. Right? But what if... Ooh, these aren't going to be big enough. What if you decorated it? Right? So what if I took some paper and glued it on there about the same height as the envelope? So how tall is this envelope? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 3/4, about. Okay, let me see if I've got... Let's see how tall this one is. Although that would make... That's okay, it's on the other side. It can turn the other way. Is it the same? It's taller. So we can do this. So basically, my suggestion is to glue this onto here. Now, as with anything, this is going to cause a step in your tuck. I would put masking tape on that. That's personal preference. So let's cut this to 6 3/4 and build a little tuck on the other side. She did not. She let the envelope tuck stand on its own, which is perfectly fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3/4. I'm doing this as part of my decorating process. So this would be me decorating my tuck. And I don't think I'm going to make it 3 inches wide either. So we're going to trim it this way. I think we'll make it 2.5 inches wide. I want to be able to get stuff in and out of it comfortably, right? And we are going to have to glue down at least 2 of the sides, I feel like. So we're going to glue this right on here. And I'm just going to glue... wait, I had regular book page here a second ago. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to glue on the whole, this whole flap. Now in this particular case, the coffee dyed paper lining covered up the glue. If I'm doing this on an envelope that doesn't... Oh, still got some rust mixed down in there. If I'm doing this on an envelope that is nicer, thicker paper, and I decide not to line it, then my masking tape trick serves 2 purposes. It serves the purpose of creating your step down so stuff doesn't catch in your tuck. Because my feeling is there's a ledge there. It's not hugely thick, but it's thick enough. And my feeling about that is masking tape is even thinner. So I would normally put a piece of tape right across here. Now, when you do that for one that you didn't line, you can, it will cover up your glue strip. Use a wider piece of masking tape or, you know, whatever. Okay, get that done. We'll put these away. All right, so we clip these corners like that, and we call that one done. So we have our pocket, and then that gets glued down, so you wouldn't see this, right? So we put this on here, and we would glue it down. Now I would, since it's going to be the thing that's holding your piece on, this flap is going to be what's holding your piece on. I would glue here and here and make it like a top loading tuck like that. And you could even do it closer to the bottom of the page. And then when you flip it over, this flips out and you have your pocket, and then you have your other two pockets. I think these are great. Okay, let's see about making some other ones, and then I don't know if we'll have time to decorate one, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to set that one off to the side. Here's a littler one. This is not one I would line. This paper is a little heavier. It doesn't seem a lot heavier, but it's enough. I trimmed the tips of the envelope opening off. Since I didn't open it up, I just trimmed those tips off. It could do with a little better, but it's hard to get in there when you're not opening the envelope up. So, all right. My thoughts on this one are maybe these. So we would put 2 of these down. So what I'm going to do is measure this envelope. This one's a little over, it's 1/8 of an inch over 4 1/4. So 4 3/8. I'm going to make it 4 1/4, make the pocket 4 1/4. So let's cut off a 4 1/4 piece from this end. We'll do it this way, just because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to cut that way. 1 2 3 4 1/4. Now that we know how to do this, we're going to see if we can, how many we can throw together really quick. And then maybe we'll try and decorate 1 or 2 of them. Okay, so that's one. And I would have to trim the bottom of this pocket. So how wide is this? I don't want it to be too wide. This is a small envelope. We're going to take off, we're going to make this one 3/4 of an inch. No, sorry, 2 3/4 of an inch. Oop. This blade just gouged my ruler, guys. I'm not kidding you. These Fiskars blades are tough. I just took a chunk out of my ruler. It's a metal ruler. It also proves that I can't cut straight even with a blade and a ruler. Okay, so that's one. And it'll go on there like that. And then I'll cut another one 2 1/2. However, I did not, when I was lining these, did not line them up really great. So we are going to take a smidge off the end of this one. And then we're going to cut it to 4 1/4. 1 2 3 4 1/4. Okay. Throw that off to the side. And then we're going to cut this. Cut it this way, and I'm going to cut it 2 1/2. Like this. So, of course, pocket size is going to depend on envelope size, obviously. Okay. I'm going to put the nails at the bottom, even though that flower looks like it's probably upside down. But what are you going to do? All right, I'm going to cut my notches off center again. Now, these pockets are the type that are going to need inking, because when you stack them, you can't see them. Or at least you can't see where one starts and the other one stops. So these ones definitely need ink. So let's get our ink back down here. And of course, if I was thinking real hard about it, I could use some other different ink. But I wasn't thinking real hard about it, so I went to the old standby. This is the small pocket, so it's going to be tucked into the other pocket, so I don't have to ink the bottom. So let's do this one. This is the one that has to have definitely ink on the top, because when it sits against this one, you need to be able to see that it's there. It's weird. That feels thinner than everywhere else. Still got 2 pieces of paper on it. Definitely want you to be able to see the notch and the top of the pocket. Okay. So I go in there like that. Now you can see it better. Not great, but better. Move all that stuff out of the way. You see. Now, the tuck you can do to either side, obviously. So if I lay my envelope this way, my tuck is on that side. If I turn it over, my tuck is on the other side, right? So we're going to put this pocket, it goes right here, like that. This pocket will go here, like that, hopefully straight. Hopefully I cut it straight. I'm sure something's not straight. Okay, we'll glue these down. As far as the flap is concerned, I did the decorating on that flap just because, to show you what my thoughts were on it. The flap, I would probably wait to decorate until I knew what page it was going down on. The glue wipes the ink away and then it gets all over your stuff. So I guess we'll be inking this envelope just so I can hide that. All right, and then we're going to have this pocket for the bottom. And once again, I love the fact that, first of all, we're using up the multitude of envelopes that I have, or at least some of them. And I'm using scraps. This is scraps from my scrap box. So love that. Now, obviously, if you're working on a specific project, use paper from the project you're working on. But if you're just making these to go in a box, voila. Okay, so pocket, 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 tuck, right? And adorable. Okay, let's see about, I know, let's cover this one. And the reason I want to cover this one is because, well, first of all, there's a word. See that? I want to cover this one because this is the one of the examples that she gave that was a little bit different. Let me see how I had this. I had this broken up so that this with this, that with that. Maybe I'll put the this with this, that with that. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we'll put a pocket on here. Let's find out how wide this one is. One, two, three, four. We would do this one 4.5. So we're going to make 4.5 inch pockets. I really want the big, let me see how much of them I can get. So let's do, you guys are probably looking at me funny, like, what are you talking about? I want to get as much of the 2 big flowers in the middle as I can. So sacrificing that. And we're going to go 4.5 from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. That's going to cut right through there. That's okay. I don't mind it being like part of the side of the pocket. So we're going to cut it off like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then that'll go on there like that. Right? Okay. And then we're going to do this one 4.5. I think the colors go good with the pink envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. This is another one of the ones where if you don't want to, you wouldn't have to. I want to do those two together on something, I think. So we have these. If you didn't want to, you wouldn't have to ink these. Again, they're totally different patterns. I mean, they're similar colors, obviously, but they're totally different patterns. So if you didn't want to ink these, all right, do I want, no, I want it this way. So we're going to put them like that, right? Where's my little clipper thingy? I am burying everything. All right, so we're going to clip it. And we're going to clip this one. And we're going to put this one here. I don't know that I'm going to ink this one. I can't decide. If I did ink it, I don't know that I would want to use Vintage Photo. Not green. I think if I did it, I would want to use something dark. And I don't know if in my big ones I have a dark. I don't. I'm going to have to pull my little ones here. Here, walnut stain. Question is, do I have a walnut stain dauber? I don't think I do. All right, time to assign a new dauber, guys. So I gotta ask, do you guys have a dauber for every color, every separate color that you own? I'm debating whether or not I should do that. Let's see if that, yeah, that's enough on there. The walnut stain's a little better on this just because the brown is so dark. I finally got it so that all my inks are right here where I can reach them. Because I use them so much. I reorganized again. I feel like every so often I just decide, you know what, I need to do some reorganizing. Well, when I did that, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the video where I had the acrylic bins. When I found those, I went through and reorganized a bunch of stuff, and I created some space for ongoing projects where everything's real easy to get to and all together in one place and all that sort of thing. So when I did that, I did some craft room reorganization, and yeah. Okay, so that one's going to go like that, and we're going to mark that here. And we're going to glue it down, and we'll have another one done. Oh, and I wanted to show you what this one, as you can see, uh-oh, there it goes. As you can see, this is double-sided lightweight cardstock. And it's in my scraps because I've been using it for all kinds of things. I think I used it for some Roxy's Weekly Challenges last year. Yeah, I've done all kinds of stuff with it, so now we're going to put this down. And we'll have another. Oh, and I wanted to show you how this one keeps its tuck even though its flap has been glued shut. Because she glues these ones, she glues down a little different. And I thought it was fun that she came up with a way for you to use the envelopes that have been cut open. So like, if you have used stationery envelopes, you can still do this project as long as you can either trim up your top or it's not so bad that you... So you have your your pocket. This is open, so that's a pocket, right? And then what you would do is when you glued it down on your page, you would glue it here and here, and then the whole thing is still a tuck. So you still get your tuck out of it. It's just on the same page with all the pockets. So that one's done. So that's a pocket. That's a side pocket like this. Almost like a hidden pocket. All right, so we got that one done. Let's see, where are we at? All right. I wanted to show you this one. So I have this one. You can either put this one down as a landscape, because it's a top load pocket, or you can do it as an overhang. And when I'm doing mine and I put extra stuff on here, that helps with an up tuck, right? So on this one, oh, and I also have this big one that I wanted to do. I actually have two of the big ones. What did I do with my other one? Here. So for these, what you can do is you make them pages, right? So I would take this and I would glue it to the page. And then because this page is big enough to be a page in my book, I would sew this in right here where the flap is. I would sew that into the journal like that, right? And I would still get my tuck. So let's decorate one of these big ones. Let's see if this is still wide enough. It is, plenty. Okay, so my thought for this one was to do a piece of this like that, right? So let's see how wide this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one actually is 5 3/4. Is it? That's going to mess up my math. Finally have an envelope that falls on a 1/4 or a 1/2 mark. Okay, well, we'll do it. I'm going to come down here to my 1/8 marks then. So 5, and I want it to be just under 5 3/4. So we're going to put it there. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm measuring. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and cut it there. Where's my little ruler? Where's my ruler? Oh. We'll cut it right here. So down on my 1/8 marks, usually what I do is I set it up so that on this end, it covers all the 1/8 that I need. And then I just count out the inches. No big, huge secret. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to make it, we said it was 3/4, so just over 3/4, or just under 3/4, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to cut it right there. And again, this is another one of those pockets that I think is really cool. I think it's great to make these if you are like building your journal. Because like I said, if you use these big ones, you can sew this in to your signature, right? Just go ahead and glue it to its other page and then sew it on at the fold of the envelope. I love that idea. I always like cool things to sew into my signatures. Okay, so we're going to do... Actually, you know what? I'm going to punch this with a... I am not going to punch that with that. I'm going to punch this with a circle. Only because it's so... It's so much... It's bigger. So I want it to have a bigger notch. Okay. It's going to go this way. We're going to do walnut stain again because of the brown. Oh, I forgot to clip my corners. I do like the offset notches. I am one that doesn't necessarily like like taking something and bordering all the way around the page, or perfectly even on both sides. Now sometimes, I mean, it depends, but a lot of times I like asymmetrical. That's why I like the idea of turning them back to back and punching the notches off to the one side so that they're different. Okay, and then we'll ink this one. So again, I want to thank the lovely Kathleen Mower for the inspiration for these. I think these are awesome. We're going to put this one on here. Maybe I can look around real quick for some quick decorating pieces to put on these, and then we'll decorate one of them, maybe two of them. We'll just see how it goes. I feel like one of these I cut slightly wider, and I think it's the green one. I think it's a hair wider. You know what? We're just going to put it down. Okay, so it goes, I just need to mark it. Okay, so it's going to go right there. I need to stop hemming and hawing and just put it down. I also like the idea, when I first started making these stacked pockets, I was gluing them all the way around on three sides. You know, I would glue the bottom. I don't remember who the first person I saw make them pass through pockets was, but I saw that and I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. But yeah, I like the fact that that makes this pocket here able to take something taller than, you know, just that you can put a full page something in there if you want to, you know. Obviously this particular one, if you wanted to make that short here, that's still a pretty decent size journaling card or something on a large piece like this. But on the smaller envelopes, it's really restrictive. So all right, let's put that down. Okay, and there we have another one. I love these. Okay, we did the flap on that side on that one. Oh, I wanted to do these together, I think. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, oh, I also had this one, which I really like these. So I've got another big one, or I've got this kind of lavender-ish one. This one I probably wouldn't try to cut off. Although I don't know. Oh, this is one of those flimsy ones, though. I would probably line it, and I'm not going to do that right now. This one's really nice. I might try and put this on here. This one I might just cut it and flip it over. I think this is 5 3/4 again. So we're going to have to do the 3/4, just below 3/4, cut 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we would have to flip this over and just below 3/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, like that. And I think this will be really cute on top of each other like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's do our, yeah, that's right. Let's do our notch. I'm going to do the notch on, put it back. These are bigger pockets, so we're going to do the bigger round one again. Oh. No, I'm getting all the way in there. Okay. So that's like that, and that's like that. And I made those notches extra big. Okay, so for this one, we can go back to Vintage Photo. This is walnut stain. Let's clip our corners. I suppose eventually, if I want you to craft I mean, you can watch the video and then go back and craft with me. I guess. I suppose at the beginning, I should tell you what we're making. I should start telling you what kind of supplies I'm using. So if you want to do with, you can gather. But I always forget that part at the beginning. I'm not used to it, so I always forget it. This particular one this is kind of old-fashioned wallpaper and stuff. This might get done up for the Victorian album. I know you haven't seen that one in a while, and honestly, I have not been able to work on it in a while, so it's not, I don't want to say it's not coming along, because it is kind of, but it's definitely in need of some attention. So, put this on here like this. And then put this one on here like this, all the way down in the notch so it covers it. Okay, and then we'll mark it. That's, I think, the biggest reason to make sure that you have it where you want it is because you don't want to glue it down and then it not cover, because I cut pretty big notches on this one this time. Wasn't intentional, but it happened. And I will also admit I like making like a big ephemera as long as it's like, how do I say that? I like making large ephemera cards, simple ones. To slip down in big pockets like this. So this will be the last one. And put this one down just like that, hopefully. Oh, it's not straight. Well, I shouldn't say it's not straight. It looks pretty straight. It's just like put it all off to one side. Oh, glue ball. Okay. All right, and then we have that one, and that's, oh, did I not get glue on there? Wow. That just pulled right up. I'm not used to this art glitter glue doing that. So that's that one. All right, let me grab all my scrappy things here. Set those off to the side, move the rag. Let's just do some general getting stuff out of my way. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what we got. Okay, so these are the ones we got done. I can see about, let's see what we can do about a little bit of decorating. I'm thinking something simple like labels, because it's scrapbook paper, so it's not going to need a lot. See, like something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Can't decide if that's the right color. It almost looks like it needs to be paler. Ooh, that's too big. I wonder if I have that smaller. That would look kind of cute on there. Oh, no idea where I'm going. I have them right here. Okay. Like some labels. Let's see what we got in here. I think this is too big. But what if I put something else with it? This might be kind of nice on here, or maybe even the one with the words in it. Just a little too white, isn't it? Like stark. Got something like this with roses. And then that would be nice. Okay, so we'll do that on that one. Got my trims, guys. I could put some lace on there. Not a big piece. Okay, so we'll do this one here. I'm going to put that right on there like that. So it just kind of barely shows up because it's lightly colored. And then we're going to need ink. I think I keep leaving I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I think I keep leaving my craft room and leaving my glue gun on again. Which I don't want to do because it makes a mess of my glue. Alright, so let's do this. Ooh, this is probably clogged. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this down in there. It's too big. Oh, wait. Hey, it came free. What do you know? I didn't put the pin in it. That's why I was... Oh, there's writing on it. It's upside down that way. Okay, so we'll put this here. We'll put this here. Yeah, I think that'll be cute. And actually, since I'm gluing it to the lace, more of it is going to be stuck to the lace, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. All right. So, in the U.S., have you guys all like got kids going back to school, or has school started yet? Or I know it's different everywhere. Like some places still start after Labor Day. Some places get started before. Okay. Now, the only other thing I would think would be to do something up here, but I don't want to interfere with the pockets. You know me, guys. Okay, so I was thinking then maybe one of these on here. These bigger labels. Like that. So we'll put this down. Oh my gosh, that's dripping all over the place. So we'll put this down in here. And real quick, I need a glue stick. All right, so I'll get this one done, and then we'll say goodbye. And like I said, I hope you guys like these pockets. I will definitely link Miss Mower's video so that you can go see her do this. Hers are really cute. And I want to thank her again for the inspiration. And I will see you guys with the next project. Bye-bye.